Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're continuing our adventures into the universe of Battlestar Galactica. We're exploring the modern Cylon Basestar Design. This was the primary capital ship of the Cylon Forces at the time of the fall of the 12 Colonies. The Cylon Basestar would perform a similar role as the Colonial Fleets Battlestars, that being an armoured carrier and battleship hybrid. Remember, for the latest videos, hit that subscribe button. While you're watching this, comment on what Basestar design we should look at next. There's quite a few. Let us know what you think of this ship in the comments below. So say we all. At a length of 2,079.6 meters, with a width of 1,030.7 meters and a height of 277.5 meters, the modern Cylon Basestar was a breakaway design from the Cylon Basestar designs of the First Cylon War. The modern Cylon Basestars dwarfed many of the Colonial Battlestars. Above and below the central area of the Basestar are the rotating sections of the ship. Each section has 3 wings protruding from the center, which creates a Y shape. We would also class the design as a Basestar Type D, but is known as a modern Basestar or base ship. Now these sections house the Basestar's hangar decks. Cylon raiders are embedded within the wings to await launches. This design allows the raiders to quickly respond to both offensive and defensive missions from the Basestar. The Basestar wings can also be entered to reach the hangar deck area. This location is pressurized. The Basestar has sublight engines, which allow it to swiftly move around in orbit of planets. However, we don't actually see the engines on Cylon Basestars, like we do on Colonial Battlestars. These ships seem to just float in universe. A Cylon Basestar was also fitted with a Cylon long-range FTL drive, controlled by both the hybrid and humanoid Cylons on board. Crew-wise, various models of humanoid Cylons will be stationed on board, along with the hybrid and hundreds of Centurions. As with most Cylon technology following the Cylon War, the Basestar is organic, and damage can be repaired like regenerating a wound. The inner parts of a modern Cylon Basestar have their organic elements exposed. For example, a Colonial Raptor has been seen landing on the flesh of a Basestar. Weapons-wise, the modern Basestars are heavily armed. The Cylon Basestar is capable of firing both conventional missiles, nuclear missiles, and MIRVs. Around 168 missile launchers are located in the modern Basestar design. The Cylon Basestar design appears to lack point defense batteries, suggesting the Cylon ship relies heavily on its raider fighter complement to defend itself from attacking craft. While not as heavily armed as Colonial Battlestars, the Basestar's quick tactics in launching a nuclear attack, followed by launching raider forces, can quickly cause critical damage to a Battlestar. The raider complement of a modern Cylon Basestar appears to be around 434 standard Cylon raiders. However, a modern Basestar also carries several heavy raiders as well. A Cylon Basestar, in conjunction with a Cylon raider, is able to serve as a platform for electronic warfare. The Basestar is capable of launching hacking attacks against networked computers in range. The Basestar is capable of shutting down a networked Colonial Battlestar with relative ease, making the target undefended and easy to defeat. This tactic, while efficient and effective, is unable to work against a non-network target, such as a Jupiter-class Battlestar Galactica. A Cylon Basestar was primarily controlled by a Cylon that was incorporated into the Basestar itself. This was known as the hybrid. The hybrid is basically the Basestar. Due to the organic nature of the ship design, the Basestar is an extension of the hybrid's body and mind. While humanoid in appearance, the hybrid is seen as lesser by the other humanoid Cylons. Speaking of which, the humanoid Cylons oversee the command and control of the Cylon Basestars. All 7 models can be found issuing commands from a central command and control center. It is very similar to a Battlestar's combat information center. Cylons can interact with the Basestar's main computer by placing their hands in the basins within the center of a room. This contains a sort of liquid computer interface. Within this central area, a data stream for the Basestar can be found. This operates very much like a computer network. It interfaces with the hybrid and all aspects of the Basestar design and operation. Besides the command and control areas, the Cylon Basestar also possesses conventional rooms and hallways. While sleek, they are generally bland. It appears the Cylon design favours lighting. The sparse design nature is explained as the humanoid Cylons can project different surroundings in their minds. This both allows them to navigate the corridors more efficiently, but also provides them with a pleasing environment to work in. The modern Cylon Basestar was developed following the end of the First Cylon War, before the Cylon Forces returned to annihilate the 12 colonies. The Cylons developed the modern Basestar to replace the earlier ships of the same name. While the original Cylon Basestars were developed using standard shipbuilding materials, the newer modern Type D Basestar design was constructed with hardened organic matter. These would then be operated by an organic Cylon, known as the Hybrid, rather than traditional crew. With the development of a modern Basestar, the Cylons would spend years building up a new advanced military force to take on the Colonial Forces. It is possible that the Guardian Basestar led to the development of a modern Cylon Basestar. This is not quite clear, but the Guardian Basestar design shares some similarities to what would become the modern Cylon Basestar and the primary design used by the Cylon Forces. The Guardian Basestar eventually broke away from the Cylon majority in favour of living out in the far reaches of space to avoid being shut down by the others. During the fall of the 12 colonies, the Basestars would serve as the primary offensive and defensive capital ship of the Cylon Forces. While the modern Basestars were not as armoured as the Colonial Battlestar designs, the use of a Command Navigational Program exploit meant that no, if hardly any, Basestars were destroyed during the fall of the 12 colonies. The Cylon Basestars would launch nuclear missiles towards the 12 colonies, as well as eliminate the disabled Colonial Forces, including many Valkyrie and Jupiter-class Battlestars protecting the colonies. The Battlestar Galactica, an old Jupiter-class relic from the First Cylon War, successfully defended itself from the 3 Cylon Basestars during the Battle of Ragnar Anchorage. Following the swift defeat of the Colonial Fleet and the 12 colonies, a fleet of modern Basestars would continue to track and harass the Battlestar Galactica. Galactica was protecting a civilian refugee convoy. While this Cylon fleet pursued Galactica, eventually losing them once their tracking device was discovered, the majority of the Cylon fleet were spread out elsewhere. Following the exodus from the Cyrenus system, multiple Cylon Basestars would engage the Battlestar Galactica and eventually be forced to deal with the Battlestar Pegasus. The Battle of the Resurrection Ship would see the Colonial Forces of the Galactica and Pegasus win a significant victory against the Cylon Forces. The Colonials ambushed and destroyed 2 modern Basestars and the Cylon Resurrection Ship. While the Colonial Forces suffered many losses during the New Caprica situation, the Cylons did also take a beating. The Battle of New Caprica saw 2 Cylon Basestars destroyed following the arrival of Battlestar Pegasus. However, the Cylons soon managed to cause crippling damage to the Mercury-class Battlestar as it protected the escape of Galactica and the civilians from the planet's surface. In one final act, Commander Leodama set a collision course and abandoned ship. As such, the Pegasus destroyed one of the Cylon Basestars in a direct ram, while the explosions of the ship caused its flight pod to collide with another Basestar, destroying it. The climactic battle of the colony did not see any Cylon Basestars present in the engagement. However, with the destruction of the colony, it is questioned if any modern Cylon Basestars were left. We're talking about Cylon loyalists here. We do know that one Cylon modern Basestar was active, which was crewed by Centurions who had been freed from slavery by the Cylon 2s, 6s, and 8s models. During the early days of the reimagined Battlestar Galactica series, the producers and production team worked under a network order that the new show should not look anything like the original from the 1970s. This order would inform a lot of design choices. Of course, when we look at colonial ship designs, this order was taken as more of a suggestion, especially when you look at the original Galactica and then the one in the reimagined series of Battlestar. However, the Cylon designers took the network orders to heart. While the human Cylons were perhaps the most dramatic change from the Chrome Toasters, the Starships and Cylon Raiders were completely redeveloped for the new adventure. While the original Cylon Basestar, which was known as a base ship, sported a dual saucer design, it worked really well with the 1970s aesthetic. Originally, the late Gary Hutzel, who was a powerhouse in visual effects work on television such as Star Trek, was talking with the Battlestar Galactica miniseries director Michael Reimer. The director described the new Cylons as highly evolved and feminine. Hutzel would take that information and work into the design of a vessel. He noted in an interview that the idea popped into his head and he thought about the XY chromosomes. This informed the rotating structure of a modern Cylon Basestar. Hutzel charged concept artist Eric Chu with the high concept idea. Chu had already been working on the designs of the Galactica, the Cylon Raider, and other designs for the new series. Chu previously noted that the Basestars were likely one of the easiest he would work on. One drawing, on screen now, was then approved by the production team and would move forward. In the first and second seasons of the reimagined series of Battlestar Galactica, Eric Chu created the Cylon Basestar CGI model. The design of a modern Basestar is a little bit different here. However, with seasons 3 and 4 of the show, Pierre Druillet updated the CGI model to better reflect the interior design of a starship, which will then be shown on the upcoming episodes. Series creator, Ronald D. Moore, previously said that the exterior design of the Cylon Basestars was finished way before the interior ever was. In an interview with Hero Collector for the release of the Cylon Basestar model, Moore said that he envisioned the Cylons as clearly having some sort of organic component to a lot of their vessels. Unfortunately, he did confirm the team never got into discussions of how this worked when it came to the Basestar. That's our report on the Modern Cylon Basestar design seen in a reimagined series of Battlestar Galactica. Be honest, did you prefer this design or did you prefer the classic Cylon Basestar? Don't forget to comment below what Basestar design we should look at next. As always, a big thank you to the Battlestar.wiki team for the information used in this video. Visit their wiki via the link in the video description for in-depth Battlestar Galactica information. We'd also like to extend a big thank you to the developers of the Battlestar Galactica Fleet Commander Homeworld mod for their visual assets. So say we all. Remember, if you want to continue the Battlestar adventures, then check out the playlist on the end screen now to see our videos on the Jupiter class, Mercury class, and Valkyrie class Battlestars. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it. So say we all.